Hello and very welcome everyone to this session of the current affairs. Today we are going to learn the current affairs of 5th of November 2024. So let's start and see that what are the things we can learn from this day. Before we start, these are the topics I got covered for you in this session. So have a look at them. So I've got some international news, national state news, banking and finance news. After that, I got defense news, science and technology, sports news, important days, ranks and reports, awards and recognitions, appointment resignation, summits and conference. And at last, I'll summarize all the things for all of you. Before we start, the images used in this slide deck are for educational purpose only. We respect the intellectual property rights of original creators and owners of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in this deck and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathi@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. So first news that we today have with us is External Affairs Minister Mr. Jaishankar inaugurates India's new consulate in Brisbane. So Brisbane is in Australia. So External Affairs Minister Mr. S. Jaishankar inaugurated India's new consulate in Brisbane. The event marks a significant milestone in strengthening India's Australia relations. Jaishankar emphasized the recent transformation in bilateral ties. Initiatives like a trade agreement have opened up significant opportunities for both countries. So do remember that External Affairs Minister Mr. Jaishankar inaugurated India's new consulate in Brisbane. And this is the first time this has been done, and the new consulate is opened in Australia's Brisbane. Kemi Badenoch, historic rise as Conservative Party leader and UK opposition chief. So Kemi Badenoch, 44 of age, made history on November 2nd as the first black woman to lead UK's Conservative Party. So there are basically two parties, one is Conservative, one is Labour in UK that are famous. Conservative Party is the one which has lost the elections recently, and currently the Prime Minister of UK is a Starmer, who is from Labour's party. She succeeded Rishi Sunak, Britain's first British Indian party leader. Badenoch won the leadership race by securing 53,806 vote turnout of 72.8% among Conservative Party members. Her victory followed Sunak's resignation after the Conservative electoral defeat in July. So to remember, Kemi Badenoch, she has become the Conservative Party leader and has now become the UK opposition chief. US elections result. So United States is preparing for the 2024 presidential election on Tuesday. The elections contested between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump. Both campaigns have intensified, especially in critical battleground states. The elections has drawn worldwide attention as Americans prepare to cast their votes. So if we talk about US elections, so recently Donald Trump has won the elections with 40 and has become the 47th president of USA, and he was also the 45th president of USA. Cairn joins UNEP OGMP 2.0 as India's first oil and gas pioneer. So Cairn Oil and Gas, part of Vedanta Group, has joined the United Nations Environment Programme's Oil and Gas Methane Partnership. Cairn is the first oil and gas producer in India to join the initiative. By signing this agreement, Cairn committed to reducing methane emissions effectively. This marks the significant step towards environmental sustainability in the oil and gas sector. So do remember, Cairn has joined the UNEP, that is the OGMP 2.0, as India's first oil and gas pioneer. India secures ISA presidency again. Ashish Khanna, new Director General. So India and France have been re-elected as the president and co-president of International Solar Alliance. It was started in 2015 with India and France collaboratively, and it is headquartered in Gurugram. And recently, India has secured the presidency once again, and the new Director General is Ashish Khanna. Re-election took place at the 7th ISA Assembly held in New Delhi. The recently 101st member was added, and that was Nepal. Union Minister for New and Renewable Energy Prahlad Joshi announced that India would continue to hold the presidency until 2026. Ashish Khanna has been appointed as the new Director General of ISA, that is International Solar Alliance. Duma Boko of UDC declared as the sixth president of Botswana. So on 1st November 2024, Duma Gideon Boko of the Umbrella for Democratic Change coalition was declared as the sixth president of Botswana, securing 25 out of 61 parliamentary seats. He defeated incumbent President Mokgweetsi Masisi of the Botswana Democratic Party, who secured only one seat. BDP had been in power since the country's independence in 1966. Duma Boko, born on 31st December 1969, is a human rights lawyer who began his career as a law professor at the University of Botswana in 1993. He became the leader of Botswana National Front in 2010 and was instrumental in informing the UDC in 2012. He has run for president in various elections in 2014 and 2019. So remember, Duma Boko of UDC declared as the sixth president of Botswana. Botswana is a country that is in Africa, that you will find in Africa, adjacent to South Africa. And the very famous Kalahari Desert is found in Botswana. ESIC Medical Benefit Council approved the convergence of ESI scheme and ABPMJ. So Employees State Insurance Corporation Medical Benefit Council has approved the convergence of the Employees State Insurance Scheme with Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. This decision has made during the 86th Medical Benefit Council meeting chaired by Ashok Kumar Singh. Director General of ESIC, aims to enhance the healthcare access of ESI beneficiaries. The convergence include initiatives like annual health checkups, awareness camps for early diagnosis, and improved healthcare delivery. Council has also approved the implementation of the Common Support Mission to improve and strengthen ESI's medical service delivery system in the state, focusing on an assured person-centric approach. So do remember that ESIC Medical Benefiting Council approved the convergence of ESI scheme and ABPMJ, that is Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. Uttar Pradesh boosts veterinary services with new policy. So Uttar Pradesh government has announced a new policy of enhanced veterinary services. Policy introduces diploma certificate courses in animal husbandry and para-veterinary medicine. The decision aims to address the shortage of veterinarians in the state. Government seeks to empower rural communities with essential animal health services. Recently, if you remember, Uttar Pradesh has also started the conservation of king vultures recently in Uttar Pradesh. And now they have introduced the veterinary services to boost the veterinary services with new policies. Punjab and Sindh Bank launches e-bank guarantee facility with NESL. So Punjab and Sindh Bank has launched its e-bank guarantee facility in collaboration with National E-Governance Service Limited. This service modernizes the traditional bank guarantee process. Transitions is from paper-based issuance requiring physical stamping and signatures to a fully digital format. The new format utilizes e-stamping and e-signatures. So do remember that Punjab and Sindh Bank launches the e-bank guarantee facility with National E-Governance Service Limited. RBI adds 13 new firms to its alert list of unauthorized forex trading platform. So RBI, the highest regulatory body of India, established in 1934, added 13 more firms to its alert list of unauthorized forex trading platform, expanding the total number of entities in the list to 88. Entities in the alert list are neither authorized to deal in forex under the FEMA Act 1999, that is the Foreign Exchange Management Act, nor to operate electronic trading platform for forex transactions under the Electronic Trading Platform Directions 2018. Area list includes name of entities, platform, websites promoting unauthorized entities or ETPs, including through advertisement or claiming to provide training or advisory services. RBI clarified that if an entity does not appear in the list it should not be assumed to be authorized by the RBI. The authorization status of any person or ETP can be ascertained from the list of unauthorized persons and authorized ETPs. So do remember that RBI has added up 13 new firms to its alert list for unauthorized forex trading platforms. SDFC inaugurates the first branch in Singapore to expand financial services. So recently, SDFC Bank Limited inaugurated the first branch in Singapore, having received a wholesome banking license from the Monetary Authority of India of Singapore, effective from 15th October 2024. So SDFC has inaugurated the first branch in Singapore to expand the financial service. We talked about this one in October also, and now it has been completely done. The bench was inaugurated by Rakesh Singh, Group Head of International Banking, Investment Banking, Private Banking, Digital Ecosystem, Banking as Service, SDFC Bank, in the presence of Gaurav Khandelwal, CEO of SDFC Bank, Singapore. SDFC Bank will now offer a wide range of financial products and service to the residents of Singapore. SDFC international operations now include 5 branches, one each in Hong Kong, Bahrain, United Arab Emirates, Singapore, and an IFSC banking unit in Gujarat, International Finance Tech City, India. So do remember, SDFC has inaugurated the first branch in Singapore to expand the financial service. Adani's Ambuja Cement Limited to acquire 46.8% stake in Orient Cement for rupees 8100 crore. So on 22nd October, Ambuja Cement Limited, part of Adani Group, announced the signing of a binding agreement to acquire a 46.8% stake in Orient Cement Limited for rupees 8100 crore. The acquisition will be funded through internal accruals and marks Ambuja Cement fourth acquisition since its promoter change and third acquisition of the ongoing financial 2024-2025. ACL will make an open offer at rupees 395.40 per share to the public shareholder of OCL in accordance with the substantial acquisition of shares and takeovers regulations. Acquisition will be carried out in 2 phases, with ACL acquiring 37.9% from OCL promoters and an additional 8.9% from certain public shareholders. So remember, Adani's Ambuja Cement Limited to acquire 46.8% stake in Orient Cement. KMBL to acquire Standard Chartered India's rupees 4100 crore personal loan book. On 18th October, Kotak Mahindra Limited announced an agreement to acquire the Standard Chartered Bank India's personal loan book, which includes loans of rupees 4100 crores as of 30th September 2024. The transaction will be completed over the next 3 months, subjected to the regulatory and other approvals and satisfaction of or waiver of customary closing conditions. So KMBL to acquire the Standard Chartered India's rupees 4100 crore personal loan bank. KMBL will buy the loan bank with the outstanding amount finalized closer to the completion date. Acquisition is the part of KMBL's strategy to expand its personal loan portfolio and hence its market presence in India. So do remember, KMBL is partnered with, has acquired the Standard Chartered India with rupees 4100 crore. CDS General Chauhan signs the key defense pact with Algeria. So India and Algeria have signed a memorandum on defense cooperation. Recently, General Anil Chauhan, the CDS of India, that is the Chief of Defense Staff, is on the visit to Algeria. An agreement was signed by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Anil Chauhan, and Said Chenegriha, the Chief of Staff of the Algerian People's National Army. This development occurred during the General Chauhan's official visit to Algeria from 31st of October to 3rd of November. The pact aims to strengthen the bilateral defense ties. So do remember, CDS General Chauhan has signed the defense pact with Algeria. India-Vietnam joint military exercise begins in Ambala. So we talked about this one. The 5th edition of WinBEX 2024 begins on 4th of November at Ambala in Chandi Mandir military station. And this is a military cooperation interoperability between the two nations. The exercise include various joint training activities. So do remember, India-Vietnam joint military exercise begins in Ambala. NTPC and ONGC drive India's green energy future with new joint venture. So NTPC Limited and ONGC has launched 50 by 50 to 50 joint venture company. Collaboration is through their green energy subsidiaries NTPC Green Energy Limited and ONGC Green Energy Limited. The STAP accelerates India's renewable and new energy goals. Companies have applied to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs to establish the JVC. And remember that NTPC and ONGC are coming together to provide India's green energy future. Vridhiman Shah announced retirement from all forms of cricket. So the famous wicket-keeper batsman Vridhiman Shah has announced his retirement from all forms of cricket. Shah shared a news via social media post revealing that the ongoing Ranji Trophy season would be his last. His career spanned nearly 2 decades, known for exceptional wicket-keeping skills and steady presence with the bat. Shah has been a prominent figure in Indian cricket, especially in the Test arena. So remember the name Vridhiman Shah has announced his retirement from all forms of cricket recently. Indian boxer shines at Under 19 World Boxing Championship with Under 17 medals. So after Chirag Chikara, Under 23 triumph, now Indian boxers have made a remarkable impact at the inaugural Under 19 World Championship in Colorado. Prithvi Grewal, Vanshika Goswami, Hemant Sangwan secured gold medals. Indian contingent delivered impressive performance. The team won a total of 17 medals. So do remember that Indian boxers shines at Under 19 World Boxing Championship. Deepika Kumari wins silver medal in Archery World Cup final. So Indian archer Deepika Kumari secured silver medal at the women's recurve event at Tlaxcala 2024 Hyundai Archery World Cup final in Mexico. The achievement marks her sixth medal at the World Cup finals and her ninth appearance in the finals. Deepika defeated Yang of China by 6-0 in the quarterfinals and Mexico Alexandra Valencia 6-4 in the semifinal. Gold medal was claimed by China's Li Xiamen. So do remember that China Li Xiamen has won the gold medal in the World Cup of archery and Deepika Kumari won the silver medal. This event was held in Mexico. International Day of Care and Support, 29th October. So United Nations International Day of Care and Support is observed on 29th October to raise awareness about the importance of caregiving support of individuals who need assistance due to illness, disability and other challenges. Transforming care system to achieve the sustainable development goals in the context of Beijing plus 30. Day marks the second observance of IDCS following the establishment of UN General Assembly. First IDCS was observed on 29th October 2023. So do remember India International Day of Care and Support, 29th October. World Stroke Day, 29th October. So World Stroke Day is observed on 29th October to raise awareness of the serious nature and high rates of stroke, effective treatment options available to drive actions on stroke prevention. Theme for WSD designated by the World Stroke Organization is greater than stroke active challenge. World Stroke Day was established by the World Stroke Congress in Vancouver, Canada, and was first observed on 29th October in 2006. The day aims to highlight the importance of stroke prevention and treatment. So do remember 29th October is also the World Stroke Day. World Cities Day. So United Nations World Cities Day is observed on 31st October to promote interest in global urbanization, cooperation among cities, addressing urbanization challenge and sustainable urban development. Theme for WCD is Youth Leading Climate and Local Action for Cities. UN General Assembly proclaimed 31st October as the World Cities Day in resolution adopted on 27th December. First WCD was observed on 31st October in Shanghai, China. So do remember the World Cities Day is observed on 31st of October. World Saving Day. So World Saving Day, also known as the World Thrift Day, is observed on 31st October. The observance was moved to 30th October following the assassination of Prime Minister Indira Gandhi on 31st October. World Thrift Day was established on 31st October 1924 by World Savings and Retailing Banking Institute founding fathers. The first WSD was observed on 31st October 1924. WSBI celebrated 100th anniversary in Rome, Italy during the 27th WSBI World Congress on 30 to 31st October 2024. World Vegan Day. World Vegan Day is observed annually on November 1st to spread awareness about the benefits of vegan diet on health and well-being. Day was established in 1994 by Louis Wallace, a vegan and animal rights activist, and then chair of the Vegan Society in Uttarakhand, or United Kingdom. World Vegan Day originated as a commemoration of the 50th anniversary of Vegan Society on 1st of November. First World Vegan Day was observed on 1st of November 1994. So World Vegan Day is observed on 1st of November. Do remember this. International Day to End Impunity for Crimes Against Journalists, 2nd of November. So just after the World Vegan Day, 2nd of November is the International Day to End Impunity of Crime Against Journalists and about the dangers of impunity crime against journalists. The day also pays tribute to journalists who lost their lives in the line of duty, highlights the role of journalism in preventing violence and discrimination. UN General Assembly proclaimed 2nd November as IDEI in a resolution adopted on 18 December. First IDEI was observed on 2nd November 2014. World Vigilance Awareness Week. So, Vigilance Awareness Week is observed across India during the week marking the birth anniversary of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel on 31st October, also known as the National Unity Day. Central Vigilance Commission leads to the observance of the week, which is 2024, is from 28th October to 3rd of November. The theme of Vigilance Awareness Week 2024 is Culture of Integrity for Nation's Prosperity. CVC is an apex governmental body in India responsible for promoting integrity, transparency, accountability in public administration. So do remember Vigilance Awareness Week. It is related to curb the corruption and other things related to the government offices. Henley Passport Index. So particularly if we talk about the Henley Passport Index 2024, so Singapore has emerged as the world's most powerful passport. Ranking reflects Singapore's robust global standings and extensive diplomatic relations. India is ranked 82 in this Henley Passport Index 2024. BEML recognized with self-certification honor. So BEML Limited has been awarded the self-certification status for its defense equipment by the Department of Defense Production. Certification was presented by R.A. Govardhan. Shantanu Roy, the chairman and managing director of BEML, received the certification. Event was held at BEML's headquarters. So do remember, BEML recognized the with self-certification honor. FSIB recommends Rahul Bhave as new MD CEO. So Financial Service Institute Bureau has recommended Rahul Bhave for the position of managing director and CEO of IFCI Limited. Bhave is currently the deputy managing director of IFCI. The recommendation came after FSIB evaluated 4 candidates based on performance, experience, and established criteria. This is a significant development for the financial sector. So remember, Rahul Bhave as the new MD CEO of IFCI. PFRDA appointed Chitra Jaya Sinha as the chairperson of NPS Trust Board. So, Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority appointed Chitra Jaya Sinha as the chairperson of the National Pension System Trust Board, effective from 17th October. She succeeded Venkata Rao Yedangini and was appointed to the position on 12th of December. Chitra Jaya Sinha qualified actually with extensive experience of over 17 years of various senior roles at Life Insurance Corporation of India. She has also served as a chairperson of advisory group on pension, employment benefit, and social security schemes of the Institute of Actuaries of India for over 9 years. So remember, PFRDA appointed Chitra Jaya Sinha as the chairperson of NPS Trust Board. India WHO Joint jointly hosted the 19th ICDRA in New Delhi. So Central Drug Standard Control Organization and the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare under JP Nadda collaborated with the World Health Organization hosted the 19th International Conference of Drug Regulatory Authorities. Event held from 14 to 18 October at Yash Bhumi, India International Convention Center. Marked the first time India has hosted the ICDRA since its inception. The theme of the 19th ICDRA was Smart Regulations, delivering quality assured medical production for all. Union Minister Jagannath Prakash Nadda, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, inaugurated the conference, which included 2 days of pre-ICDRA and 3 days of ICDRA sessions. So India and WHO have jointly called for the 19th ICDRA in New Delhi, and recently they have also created the Traditional Medicine Center in Jamnagar. PM Modi to visit Russia from 22nd to 23rd October, attend 16th BRICS meeting in Kazan. So BRICS meeting to be held in Brazil, but as they are particularly holding the G21 meeting, so now the BRICS meeting is going to be held in Russia. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on visit from 22nd to 23rd October for the 16th BRICS summit in Kazan. The summit was held under the chairmanship of Russia's Federation and was chaired by President Vladimir Putin. The theme for the summit was strengthening multilateralism for just global development and security, providing a platform for leaders to discuss key global issues. 16th BRICS Summit concluded with the adoption of the Kazan Declaration, outlining key areas of cooperation and bloc's unified stance on global issues. So let's revise what we have learned so far. So EM Jaishankar inaugurates India's new consulate in Brisbane. Cami Badenoch, historic rise as a Conservative Party leader and UK opposition chief, first black woman to do so. US election results, Donald Trump to be the 47th president of USA. Ken joins UNEP OGMP 2.0 as India's first oil and gas pioneer. India secures ISA presidency, again Ashish Khanna, new Director General. Duma Boko of UDC declared as the 6th president of Botswana. ESIC Medical Benefit Council approved a convergence of ESI scheme and APPMJ. Uttar Pradesh boosts veterinary services with new policy. Punjab and Sindh Bank launched e-bank guarantee facility with NISA. RBI adds 13 new firms to the alert list of unauthorized forex trading platform. HDFC inaugurates first branch in Singapore to expand financial service. Adani Ambuja Cement Limited to acquire 46.8% stake in Orient Cement. KMBL to acquire the Standard Chartered India's rupees 4100 crore personally loan book. CDS General Chauhan signs the key defense pact with Algeria. India-Vietnam joint military exercise begins with Ambala. And TPC ONGC drive India's green energy future with the new joint venture. Vidyaman Shah announces retirement from all forms of cricket and recently from Ranji Trophy also. Indian boxers shines at Under-19 World Boxing Championship with 17 medals. Deepika Kumari wins the silver medal in Archery World Cup in Mexico. International Day of Care and Support 29th October, World Stock Day 29th October, World Cities Day 31st October, Savings Day 31st October, World Vegan Day 1st of November, and International Day to End Impunity for Crime Against Journalists 2nd of November. Vigilance Awareness Week 28th of October to 3rd of November. Henley Passport Index, India's rank is 82. BEML recognized with self-certification honor. FSIB recommends Rahul Bhave as the new MD CEO. PFRDA appoints Chitra Jayasinghe as the chairperson of NPS Trust Board. India and WHO jointly hosted and 19th ICDRA in New Delhi. PM Modi to visit to Russia from 22nd to 23rd October to attend the 16th BRICS Summit in Kazan. And that's it in this session, guys. I hope you gained a lot of knowledge and a lot of things are added into your notebooks and your general knowledge. I will meet you in the next session. And till then, bye-bye. Take care, everyone, and see you soon.